Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live, episode 460. Another amazing milestone happening today. 460 whole episodes. It's completely insane. And that's just of this. So what I want to talk to you about today, first of all, did anybody know it was so freaking hard? I've got all these little baby hairs. It was so hard to shave a freaking head evenly. It's ridiculous. All the blonde tips are gone. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. So we will see how my hair goes over the next little bit of time. So today what I wanted to talk about, not only about shaving one's head, but more importantly, talking about content spinning. I've been asked by Koshi's Business Builders to write an article on this, and I thought, well, if this is something that they want to know about, then maybe it's something that you want to know about. So first of all, I know, good morning, Kim. I know it can feel really overwhelming when you think about if you haven't been posting very often on social media, and this is for those of you who are like going, all right, I'm posting once a day, I'm progressing, it's awesome, and then you know that you need to increase to twice a day, and then sometimes going more than that can feel a little bit like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to be spending all of my whole entire day sitting in front of the computer or sitting in front of my phone, only creating content. And when are you gonna actually get time to do the other stuff that you need to do, like, see clients and coaching, or, working with people and being in your practice? And so what I wanted to talk to you about today was this thing that I call content spinning, which is where you take one piece of content and you use it multiple times. So it can be, it can feel like a lot, right? Now, when you think about the statistics, and the statistics are that people will see on average 1 in 10 of the posts that you put up that actually come through their feed. That's if they're following you, if they've engaged with you recently, and things like that. So, they've got to have clicked on a post, they've got to have either started listening to your live stream, or that they've got to engaged in some way. You may not see the visible engagement, but they need to engage in a way. So engagement can look like when you're in the newsfeed and you hear or you see me speaking, and you slow down your scroll, right? And you stop and you listen for a little bit. You might not click like, you may not click play, you may not do anything at all. But if you kind of like slow down and you engage in some way with what it is that you're seeing, then that's an engagement according to Facebook World. So, and we'll talk Facebook because that's where we're hanging out at the moment. So if you think about it, if you've got people who are, they're going through your stuff, they're scrolling through their feed, they see you, they slow down, they look at it, they view it, they read it, they might click see more and read the rest of it. It's classified as an engagement. So from there, what happens is that Facebook will start putting more of your content in front of their eyeballs. But if they're kind of like really fast, speedy readers, then they'll keep, they'll look at it, and then you may well fall out of their newsfeed. So at best, it's usually 1 in 10 that they might see. Now, I've had people, some weeks I feel like all I'm doing is promoting it, whether it's Visible Live or Contentology or the 30-day challenge or whatever it is that I'm doing at the time. It can feel like that there's this, it feels like that's all I'm talking about. And yet I was chatting to a lady on Monday who said, I haven't seen any of your promotion posts and I follow you. And I said, well, isn't that interesting? So the evidence is there that most people will not see all of the posts that you put up. Now, that's all well and good, but I think the other thing to remember is like we've got 10% of your stuff being seen. So if you're only posting once or twice a day, it's going to take between 5 and 10 days for somebody to see even one of the things that you put up, right? And that's not going to grow a business. That's not going to sell your course. That's not going to sell your books. That's not going to fill your practice. It's not going to fill your client roster. It's not going to do anything for you if people aren't seeing what you're doing. But Nobody has got, nobody has got the time and energy to sit all day in front of their computer only creating posts and going and doing this and then going and not even scheduling them, but going and putting them out manually and writing new stuff. Nobody has got time for that. So what I would encourage you to do is to instead think about it like, all right, if you put out if you create one really like good piece of writing that's maybe say, I don't know, like 1,000 words maybe, and that's not very much more than like 1.5 word pages, right? Hey Shan, if you focus on creating one solid piece of content, and then what you do from that, so you've got say 1,000 words, there will be quotes in there that you can pull out and repurpose. There are, if you've done a live stream, you could have that transcribed, and you could use something like temi.com, which is really cheap, or rev.com. Or you could put it through, some other, like an SRT file creator or something like that. So you can go in and you can pull out quotes that you have made, that you've actually said, and go and put those up with a photo. You could go create a meme out of it. You could go do anything that you wanted to do. You could create little like tweetables, little clickable things. You can go share it out to your email list. So what you're looking for is that you've got one piece of content that's kind of like gutsy, right? A substantial piece of content. And then how can you use that in 10 different ways? So live streams, I think, are a really great way of doing it. You could create a video where you read pretty much what you've written, or you talk a little bit more about what you've written. You could then go and share that in a podcast. You can go and email that out. You can pull the quotes out. You can do all of this stuff. Now, if that's making you kind of go, but again, like that's going to take so much time, this is where having a virtual assistant or a personal assistant can be really, really helpful. Now, I very strongly recommend against having somebody else create your content for you, because to me it's kind of like lying to your audience right before the get-go. It's like, I said this, well no you didn't, somebody else wrote that for you. Or I did this, I wrote this, well no you didn't, somebody else wrote that for you. To me, if we're talking about authenticity, unless you tell people, hey, I've got other people create this content for you, how awesome is it? Then, go do whatever you want. But really, to me, it's like, if you want to, and I know that all of you are this kind of person, you want to have a big impact in the world. You want to help and work with thousands of people, either locally, nationally, internationally. You want to really be able to do more good in the world. You want to leverage and grow a platform. You want to inspire and motivate and educate and heal and do all of those things that you really, really want to do. So to me, it's like you've got to create that content from the start and then get somebody else to go and syndicate it, right? So I guess it would be a little bit like, if I was going to have if I decided to create a TV show, right, and I have that being filmed, then that's fine. That has to be me, right? It has to be my words. But then the network can then go and syndicate that out to Netflix or Foxtel or to wherever else is that they wanted to go, have it going everywhere, SBS, Prime, Stan, wherever, right? They've got that ability to then go and syndicate it out so that more people can have access to it. So if you think about it in that way, it's still me, but somebody else is going in and disseminating it. I don't have a problem with that at all. And I actually think it's really fucking smart, because it might take you, it shouldn't take you long to write 1,000 words. If you are feeling really aligned, if you've got your, if you've kind of got your structure and you know what it is that you're going to talk about, you know how to back it up. You've got to really clearly explain, you know how, exactly who it is that you're talking to, your energy's there, your positioning's there, everything like that. And you've got those frameworks around you, then it should be really quite easy for you to be able to write 1,000 words and be able to do it pretty much like that. But it takes practice, and you're probably going to suck at first. And maybe you'll only get 500 words, and then you can go to 700 words, and then you can go to 800 words, and then you can go to 1,000 words, and then you'll be like, man, you know, with 2,000 words down and you were just in the flow. But it can take a while for that to build up. But the good thing about this is that the more you create, the more you can syndicate, the more you can repurpose. So it also, I was talking to somebody else this morning and I said, you know, if you're going out there, if you're creating these things and you don't change your niche and you're not changing really like ultimately at its core what it is that you're selling, then what you create now, there's no reason it can't be reused in 2 months' time or 3 months' time or 4 months' time, right? And then that way you're getting longevity out of what you're doing. So I'm not for a second suggesting that you have to sit there all day, every day, creating only original content and you can't reuse your stuff, because you absolutely can. And that is smart business, that is smart marketing, and you are smart humans. So yeah, keep being smart. So content spinning is the thing to me where I always want to think about, all right, I've got this one piece of thing, how can I use that in 10 different ways? Or how can I share it in 10 different ways? So, for instance, case in point, with this live stream today, so we're live on Facebook, I'm going to email it. It goes up onto YouTube, it goes up onto Vimeo, it goes up into the audio, goes onto SoundCloud, which also goes to iTunes, which also goes to Spotify. I will often write a blog out of what it is that I'm doing. So I'll usually have something else going on out of that again. And then I'll go and share it on Instagram TV. And then I will create a quote about it, like saying, hey, you should totally go and check this out. So there's 10 ways that I'm reusing this one piece of content without thinking too much about it, right? And that's before it's been pulled apart. That's before we've had any quotes pulled out. It's before we've had any memes created. So if you think about it in that way, it will make your content creation easier. It helps you to spend more time actually doing the work that you love to do. And it also helps you to stay on message all the time, because so long as you've created that piece of content that ties into your overall message, that talks to your audience and shares your amazingness, your energy, your IP and your knowledge, then you're always going to be consistent. Like, you can't not be consistent. So everything that you're putting out there is helpful. Now, the myth that I want to dispel for you, because usually when we start talking about this, people will say, oh, yeah, but I don't want to spam my audience. That is bullshit. It is total and utter bullshit. If you are going out to your audience and all you are doing is saying, buy my shit, 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 book in now, do this, do that, and all you're doing is kind of like taking, then yeah, you're spamming your audience and you don't deserve to, in my opinion, you probably don't deserve any level of success. Maybe that's a bit harsh. I don't know, but maybe that's a little harsh. I don't know. I just don't think people appreciate the constant, with every single thing being like buy, without any heart, without any soul, without any alignment, just for the sake of making $1. I think that's really crappy. So instead, come back and remember that even the people, some of you who follow me and you look for my posts and you look at this stuff every day, you don't always see me in your feed. Sometimes you have to come and look for me. And I post a lot, right? So your audience are likely to only see 10% of what you're doing. So the aim here is to increase the volume of what you're doing without you having to spend every hour of every day using social media or being on there, because quite frankly, particularly at the moment, it's this cesspool of fear and everything, and I don't want to spend any more time on social media than what I absolutely have to. So I hope that that's helpful. I trust that that's helpful for you. Now, I did mention yesterday, I think, that, oh, James, that is very sweet. Thank you. $100 to breast cancer. Send me through the receipt if you're doing it and I'll shave it shorter. This is at number 3. I'll go shorter. So there's, what was I going to say to you? So we've got Visible Live happening on the 5th and 6th of September, and I was actually thinking I might push that out by another couple of weeks, but we've got Visible Live happening definitely in September, where you will learn the framework for making all of this stuff happen for you. Contentology will roll again at the end of this month. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. Well, James, I will go down to, I'll do a number 2. That makes me scared. I'll do a number 2. It's a number 3 all over from this morning. So, which is like weird. Who knew that your hair grows in all these different ways? It's really weird. There you go. There you go. All right, my friends, I am going to love you and leave you. You know what you need to do, and that is you need to get out there, go help some people, have a whole ton of fun doing it, and remember that the world is ready for your brand of awesome. Have an amazing day, and if I don't talk to you before, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.